Beyond Bitcoin Hangouts are meant to give everyone a voice, a chance to speak with others who are passionate advocates for expanding the blockchain's use cases out into the world and beyond. Do you have a crypto community you would like to represent and hold open hangouts for? If so, you might find yourself on the path to owning a stake in Beyond Bitcoin. We are looking for people who care about people who want to bring others together, because crypto communities are people. Beyond Bitcoin is a movement of thinkers and doers in the crypto space. And if you feel you are one of them, reach out to beyondbitcoin@gmail.com for more information on how to debut your community's efforts to reach to the stars and beyond.
Welcome everybody. This is another exciting episode of the Beyond Bitcoin Hangout. This episode 197. I think we are coming close to the 200. Wow, we're doing this for a long time already. Every week we are meeting here Friday at 3 p.m. UTC, talking about the latest updates about everything beyond Bitcoin, BitShares, different platforms. We had a lot of cool guests today, and the host today is Chris4210. Fuzzy cannot join us today. He's just on the way back from the Philippines, going back to the States after a long journey, and I think he has a lot of cool stories to share once he's back. So I'm just going to jump in for today, helping him out, and next week he's going to be back full time, and he's going to lead all the different discussions, and I'm very looking forward to catch up with him to see what happened. And I think he also, since he was not able to enter the BitShares Telegram channel, he didn't really had the chance to follow up with all the things. So for him, it was really kind of a bigger break, so I think he's very eager to come back. And he already told me he has tons of cool new projects that he's working on. So we're going to have a lot of good news. Talking about today, this episode, I think we have 4 different speakers. We're going to start first with PeerPlays and all of their latest news about their next crowdfunding. The second in place is going to be BlockPay. I'm going to give you a couple of updates what we're up to and what is changing and happening. And then we're going to have VirtualGrowth talking about his project, and Furion, who's going to talk about some SteemData. So I think that's an exciting week, exciting panel. Let's get started. Jonathan, are you here today?
Certainly am.
All right, good. Please.
Good day or evening, everybody. My name is Jonathan Bahai. I am the president of the PeerPlays Blockchain Standards Association, and it is the organization which represents the PeerPlays project. As you all know, last week, over the weekend, we kicked off our public crowdfund, and it's taken off. It was covered live by Chris Coney. If any of you had the opportunity to be able to attend it, it was quite lively. At that time, Michael was able to jump in during the show and be able to answer some questions that people had. It was really great. And so that took place on Sunday afternoon. As of now, the public crowdfund has raised approximately 190 Bitcoin, which is pretty good. That's just over $250,000 right now. And right now, unfortunately, Michael is not able to attend today's update. He is just getting back from China. He's been traveling for the past week, meeting with various industry leaders across China, just been in nonstop meetings all week talking about PeerPlays. And from what I understand, the last reports I got, the response has just been absolutely stupendous. We've had some industry leaders say that the wallet that we have is the best they've ever seen in all of crypto. So that's some really high praise coming from some of the industry leaders out in Asia. So he's not here though, and I know he's on his way back. And I don't have a final report on what the final report was on everything that happened there, but everything over the course of the week was very positive, so very excited about that. We have next week, we'll be lining up some more interviews, and we are continuing with the crowd sale, and it's continuing to go well. So That is pretty much the update for today. Like I said, though, Michael isn't here to be able to answer any questions. If anybody has any initial questions which I may be able to field, feel free to ask.
Well, I got a couple of questions for the beginning. Thank you very much for the first update, and congratulations for the first big amount of Bitcoins coming in. I think that is very exciting. That is always good money that can be used to further build the platform. I wanted to know how do you really get started? So I'm on peerplays.com/crowdfund, and I see a big, nice Bitcoin QR code. So I can only work with Bitcoin. I can only participate, or can I also use Ethereum and others?
Yes, so for the crowd sale, you can only contribute to the PeerPlays project with Bitcoin. What'll happen is that it's very, very simple. You go there, you get the QR code or the address, and you send your Bitcoin from either one of the recommended wallets or from any Bitcoin wallet where you have full control of your private keys. By doing that, what happens is that when the PeerPlays blockchain launches, which is coming up on May 30th, anybody who has their private keys will be able to then go into the PeerPlays blockchain and be able to unlock tokens within the PeerPlays blockchain. So by contributing to the crowdfund, you are essentially getting a piece of the PeerPlays blockchain when it launches.
Oh, that's an interesting information. So that means if I use a wallet, like a hosted wallet, where I cannot see my own private Bitcoin key or public Bitcoin key, something like that, then I cannot claim the tokens.
That is correct. Basically, if you are sending Bitcoins from a exchange, or if you just can't even see your private keys like you just described, Chris, what will happen is that you just have no way to verify that you are the owner of that particular address. So you want to make sure that before you send your Bitcoin to PeerPlays, be sure to check that you do have access to your private keys, so that when the time comes, you can actually verify that you are the holder of the particular address which sent the contribution, and you will be able to get the corresponding tokens that are waiting for you within the blockchain.
Oh, that's interesting. I think it's a very important point, because I was wondering if you use a wallet where you don't see your private Bitcoin keys, what do you do then? Do you get refunded?
There's nothing that can be done. We've gone to great lengths to provide people with the information on how to properly contribute. Fundamentally speaking, if you're using Bitcoin, you really should be in control of your own private keys. This is a basic fundamental of being in the crypto space. So it's really a good idea to be using a wallet, especially if you have any significant funds where you do have control of your private keys. Otherwise, you don't have control over your Bitcoin. But essentially, there is no way for us to be able to refund or do anything like that, because once it's been sent, it's within the Genesis block. It's done. So certainly, we've gone to great lengths to try to encourage people to ensure that they understand this. There are some new people new to the space that still haven't quite grasped the idea of having private keys. So them wanting to contribute to the PeerPlays projects has actually helped them learn to better manage their own Bitcoins.
Yeah, it's definitely an important topic, and it's here. If you go to the website, it's very big written that you really have to make sure that you have access and you're able to get the private keys from that. Brindle's one has bringing up here a good question. So that means if you use the hardware wallet Trezor, and if you're sending money from Trezor to the crowdfund, then you're probably out of luck. Is that right?
I'm not intimately familiar with how Trezor works specifically. However, I vaguely seem to understand that Trezor, as a hardware wallet, will keep the private keys within the hardware and doesn't ever reveal them, in which case, no, it would not work. However, there are some hardware wallets which do allow you to be able to access and or restore your private keys to other devices, in which case those should work in terms of being able to use it for contributions. But yeah, the bottom line is that if you can't get access to your private keys, no matter what it is that you're using, you shouldn't be using it to contribute to the PeerPlays crowdfund.
And I'm also wondering because, for example, I got contacted by the guys who were creating the Byte coin, and they also, I think they had a similar system. Can you tell us a little bit more about how do you, what is the tool? How does it work if I have to basically expose my private keys to somebody? Isn't that you then can steal the money, or is it more like that you say, okay, I create a special Bitcoin account only for that? Only for that investment, only for that transaction, and then I give you basically the keys to an empty account, because if you have the key and there's no money inside, I don't care about it.
So I believe Michael talked a little bit about this, actually quite a bit about this in detail last week. So if anybody wants to get a more in-depth answer as to how that works, I would recommend speaking or listening to last week's Beyond Bitcoin. Also on our live on the live coverage with Chris Coney, I believe that Michael also covered this topic. Essentially, no, there is no exposure per se. I mean, first off, in order to access the PeerPlays network, you're going to have to download a client, which is going to be on your own system. Basically, this is all just part of cryptography. The public address, in order to be able to verify that it's yours, it has to have the corresponding key of the private key to verify that it is. In fact, you are the owner. So we aren't going to be there. There's no storage. There's nothing like that. It's essentially just a command. It's the same kind of verification that takes place every time you're sending bitcoins to anybody. So it's not a matter where you're exposing your private keys to anyone. So it's all very it's as secure could be, actually. We've essentially as long as you are the owner of those private keys with the address that's corresponding to the contribution, there's absolutely nobody on the face of this earth that could possibly take that away from you. There is some programs out there who have done it with email correspondence and things like that, but these are all things that are subject to possible interruptions. Take, for example, Amazon's S3 collapse just a few days ago. Lots of email went down at that time. But they're back down. But nonetheless, it's certainly the most secure way to ensure that when the time comes, that the PeerPlays that are in fact what should go to you for your contribution are going to be going just to you.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the explanation and for all the details. Do we have a couple of more questions about PeerPlays? Do we have any opinions for now?
So I just have something. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, we can hear you.
Cool. So so basically, what Data Security Note is saying is that to claim your PeerPlays that you bought in this crowd sale, then you simply import your private key from that Bitcoin address that you sent it to.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. So in order to basically claim the PeerPlays that you bought with the crowd sale, you basically will import your private key into the PeerPlays client, or would it be imported to a PeerPlays account?
Yes. Essentially, using the client, there will be a process specifically for claim your tokens. And through that process, you will either be able to create a brand new PeerPlays account and then have whatever corresponding amounts that are waiting for you be able to be sent to that brand new account, or you'll be able to input an existing account and input your private keys and then be able to unlock those tokens.
Okay, so as far as account making goes, there will be a service for that on launch.
Yes, there will be a faucet that would allow you to be able to create accounts.
Cool. How can an account be created before then?
Well, at the launch of the blockchain, you could certainly just go through the regular process of creating a regular account without claiming your tokens.
Okay, and I'm just coming from a place of Steem, so is it the same thing where there still would need to be another account creation service or person to create an account for you?
So yeah, you're talking about a faucet essentially. Within the PeerPlays network, the faucet system will work significantly different from both BitShares or Steam. Basically, we're designing it so that it'll be more of a decentralized process.
Okay, so in other words, could you explain how that would work or is going to work?
So there's some of the details on this I can't talk about right now. Sorry about that. So some of the details on this I can't speak to right now. But generally speaking, the faucet would be something which anybody would be able to participate in, and it would be associated with the affiliate program. So there is opportunity for people to be able to become a faucet provider while being able to potentially make some money from it.
Okay, so basically the client will be able to create an account by broadcasting like a request transaction or something for a decentralized sort of independent faucet maker.
Correct.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, do we have a couple of more questions? We basically got 1 more minute to go. When is actually Michael gonna be back? He's quite a while. He's already in Hong Kong. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the China connection.
Sure. What exactly do you mean by the China connection?
Well, do you see like is China one of the main markets for PeerPlays for the promotion? Do you need a license or something in China to provide gambling and games?
So the market in China, as far as gaming goes, is very similar to the markets in North America. There are certainly lots of regulations. In some cases, it's outlawed, but of course, there is also a big market for it. But in terms of like, is that our primary market? I would say that it certainly has big opportunity because we are coming into this introducing first our sports betting application. Lots of Chinese as well as North Americans are certainly eager to be able to get on sports betting. So it's not necessarily that it's a primary market, but it certainly is a very important market.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like the Chinese, they just love to play a lot of games, and they are super, super excited about the sport, champion leagues, and football and soccer and everything. So I think China is definitely the right market to go, and there's not really so much competition, especially not with blockchain. So I think it's one of the best places to be.
Certainly, it seems the response we're getting is very, very excited. I think that when it comes to gaming, I mean, the main thing that I'm seeing is that everybody is most excited not only about the opportunity that PeerPlays represents, but that we're providing this innovation that allows for provably fair operations. So there's no longer the counterparty issues regarding sports betting or other types of wagering games. So what this does is it essentially creates a system that people can trust without not only just trust, but have certitude in what they're doing and what they're operating on is always going to be fair to them. And that's something which is certainly a big leap from where we are today in regards to the experience that people have.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to see more games, to play a couple more rounds, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of new games that can be built based on peer plays. And yeah, maybe we're gonna have a peer plays league. That would be pretty cool. New guilds are coming. Thank you very much for this week's update, and I'm looking forward to next week to see how it all go forward with the crowdfunding and everything. Let's move to the next topic. The next speaker for today is BlockPay. So I'm gonna give you a couple of updates, what is happening, what we are going to do, and to give you an overview of what's going to happen this summer. So with BlockPay, we are super busy right now with tons of different clients who really are very curious to get integrated, and they're just looking into the endless opportunities of accepting all these digital currencies that are coming up. And probably what we can do in the future as well is to integrate with PeerPlays, so that if you have, for example, a reward and you won something on PeerPlays, then you can go out in the market and you know, grab a beer and celebrate your big success. So I think that's going to be a cool use case. I'm looking forward to look deeper into that. In this regard, we are really talking with a lot of clients, and we're getting ready. We have a long list to integrate them all. What is happening? Rodrigo right now flew to Mexico, and he's going to visit two big retail events in Mexico, talking about BlockPay and BitShares Munich, presenting our solutions, our point of sale solution, mobile wallets. And he's going to speak at one of the bigger universities in Monterrey about our products. And we are also starting to set up a dedicated team in Mexico. We are going to hire a couple of more people. And we are setting up a second, basically, company area or a subsidiary company in Mexico. And I'm very excited to get started with that, because we started first thinking about, like, you know, what is the best location to go. We have a home base, of course, here in Munich. But if you look at the wages, the living standards, and so on, you can basically get, for one person in Munich, you can get 5 people in Mexico, and you can give them a really great opportunity to work in an exciting company with an exciting topic, with a really bright future ahead. So that was one of our motivations why we are opening up a bigger company now in Mexico. And we are getting basically part of our marketing team and part of our business development team down there, who's then going to serve global markets. And I think we're going to have a couple of cool pictures coming up very soon from Mexico with the new office space and with the teams in Mexico. And Rodrigo's going to stay there for a couple of weeks to set up everything. And yeah, I think Mexico is a very interesting start, because, you know, they are struggling through the north, through America, and with Donald Trump, they are really in a weird market situation. And for us, we see Mexico as one of our target markets with digital currencies. Also, in the terms of remittance, we have a couple of requests. How we can send money from the States down to Mexico and to support families. And if you think about it, that is really a great opportunity for us, because it allows us to say, like, let's envision in this way. You know, you have Mexico markets, you have the cities, Mexico City, Monterrey, and all the other ones. And you have a big network of BlockPay terminals all over Mexico. And then you have a good platform where people can receive remittance, or they receive Bitcoin coming out from all over the world to Mexico. And then they have a network where they can spend and they can use it and they can profit from that. So for us, we're really looking forward to these emerging markets, to support them and to promote Bitcoin and blockchain technologies and currencies. And that is also one of the reasons why we partnered up with Dash, with the Dash Foundation, and with the Dash team. I think it's a very interesting partnership, because what I see with the Dash, if you saw the latest price increase, they really got a huge volume. They got a lot of new people coming in. And I think one of the main reasons why this community is successful is because they have a very active lead developing team, and they have a very interesting foundation structure where the blockchain itself is generating money through inflation, and a part of that money that is generated every year newly, around 10%, is being paid out to the developing teams. And with that money, they can fund further development, they can fund marketing, they can fund business development, and so on. And in this way, they have an active team of, I think, like 10 people who are in charge of promoting Dash on social media, in the news, and so on. I mean, Amanda Johnson is one of probably the most famous faces that everybody of us knows from the Daily Decrypt, who moved to Dash and is promoting Dash right now. And I really like that concept of a structure where you can easily, you know, where the blockchain is funding itself, funding its own growth, and then you can put that growth and build a platform. And when we see what is happening with Bitcoin right now, I see a lot of problems. Bitcoin is slow. It has a lot of weight in terms of the transaction. People are very unhappy, and it's really a big topic in the community, in the Bitcoiner community right now. Though, how do we move forward? How can we improve the Bitcoin blockchain? And I see it in a lot of talks with different Bitcoin people in the Bitcoin meetups, but also with the different companies from the Bitcoin community, that they are all already very frustrated right now because nothing is moving forward. There is no decision. What is a better scaling opportunity and the better system to go? And I see that now it's a very interesting time where you see other alternative currencies and platforms are emerging and saying like, we are cheaper, we are faster, and we can solve the problems where Bitcoin is stuck. And Dash did a really good job in that. But I'm also looking forward to other coins. Recently, I was talking to Komodo, a Komodo platform. I don't know if you are familiar with that one. They are using the BitShares consensus algorithm or system. They have a witness network, but they are a mining blockchain, so it's a little bit weird. I didn't really fully understand how they are creating stable coins, but I think they're going to be more and more basically a second generation of currencies coming up. And this second generation is going to have price stable coins. It's going to have a very active team. It's going to have business people who are leading the platform, not only developers. And in this way, I'm really looking forward to connect with those communities and to bring them all on board on BlockPay, bring them on board on the SmartCoins wallet, and also in the long term, of course, on Echo, so that we have a common ecosystem for everybody, that they can share the same technology, they can share similar platforms, and they can all share the benefit of being part of our network, and they can use it. And that is one of the goals that we set up basically for now, where we are talking with a lot of different communities. We are onboarding a lot of different clients so that they are ready for the future. They're getting ready now. It's no cost for them to integrate with BlockPay. This is, I think, one of the best points. And of course, we're also looking for different communities, new communities who are coming up with new coins, new tokens, new currencies, who want to join us. And this is basically the roadmap for this summer, is to go out on the market, talk with as many people as possible, tell them, show them how our platform works, how BlockPay works, and see what is the bigger demand, where do the people really want to go, how happy they are with Bitcoin and the existing digital currencies, and how we can basically push that all forward. And of course, one of them, the main goals, and this is just basically what we always have in the backpack, because BlockPay and our products, they're all BitShares based. In this way, we are always cross promoting the BitShares blockchain and the digital assets. And in my point of view, for the consumer perspective, the consumer really, if you think about the large scale, they don't really care so much about digital currencies. What they really care about is that it works, that it's simple, that it's fast, there's no cost. And in that way, I see a huge potential in the future, especially this year for the BitShares currencies, also for the Steem currencies, that they're going to have a very interesting, unique position in the market because the fees are so low. They have a very interesting and good concept how to create price stable tokens and currencies. And just with the right interface that we are working on right now, I'm very, very confident that we can have a huge market share. We're going to have a very interesting community, and we are building on that right now, where everybody is basically jumping into the boat and say like, wow, this is really what this is, an easy way how to pay. It's an easy way how to earn money. It's an easy way how to spend money. And money itself got just easier. It's got easier accessible. And with these new digital currencies, I actually gain back control, what I don't have with my bank. And I think that is what a lot of people still somehow miss. They miss the control, they miss the privacy that they have with cash, and they are pushed into the banking system, and they're very unhappy in the banking system because everything is controlled. They have no privacy anymore. And if you can offer them a really nice banking interface, a very nice application, a mobile wallet, where they have all the benefits of the digital currencies, I think we have something that is very, very valuable, what people really like. And I'm looking forward to develop that. And this is part of our vision and mission, to provide the infrastructure, to promote the idea. And BlockPay going to be one of the core elements with Echo and the SmartCoins wallet. And we are very, very excited to basically go to different universities, to go to different bigger events, retail events. For example, I'm going to be in Amsterdam in 2 weeks talking with it's a retail banking future event, basically where you have all the regular retail banks where they're going to talk about the future and mobile banking and PSD2 and all that. And I'm going to be very curious to pitch to them our concept, our vision, and what BlockPay can do today, and what is not just a theory or maybe in a lab where you can do a couple of transactions. I think we are very happy and fortunate, basically, that we have a scaling blockchain technology that nobody has. And we are really in an interesting phase of a submarine. And I think right now I have the feeling that the bubble is bursting and people are finally waking up and looking for new technologies and understanding that that there's a big problem in the blockchain world and they're looking for better solutions. I think with a little bit of a better marketing push, we can basically guide them to the right platform, to the right technologies. And that's also going to be a part of our marketing teams that we're building up in Mexico right now. I would like to dedicate a couple of people, teach them, educate them, and get them also ready for BitShares, because I think this is very, very important that we are going to use the time right now to promote the platform, promote the technologies, the opportunities, and to build a bigger community around this awesome technology. So now looking for a couple of more questions. So Takeonator, you're asking, what, if anything, are common concerns by retailers in setting up their initial integration with BlockPay? One of the initial concerns with retailers are, of course, one of the most obvious one is, where is the client? Good question. The client, of course, is not there yet. If you think about, if you are a supermarket and you're putting up a BlockPay there, it will take a while till there are going to be more and more people coming in with Bitcoin and other currencies. And the main reason why for that is people are not really used to spend digital currencies in a brick and mortar environment. They are not used to do that in their cafe, in their restaurant, in their hotel, when they are on the holidays. People today, most Bitcoiners, are used to spend it online, to buy something on Amazon, to buy something in an online shop. So here it is elementary for all of us to start spending and to use currencies that we are all familiar with. And this is why we, on the second side, we are developing Echo, because we understand that putting 1,000 BlockPays into the stores, that's easy. We can do that. That's not a problem. The big challenge is, how do we activate, how do we create a global community who loves digital currencies and start using them? And this is a challenge where we're gonna fix, basically, with Echo, with partnering up with different wallet providers and building easy integration and a lot of different smart coins wallet, so that the people can say, like, oh wow, it's so easy, I can just top money into here and then I can use it, I can go out, and I have a global network where I can spend my digital money very easily with a couple of clicks in the stores. And this is how we're going to answer, basically, the most common concern with retailers. Where is the market? Where is the demand for that? Then, of course, retailers are also very interested in the fees. How do I save that? And then, of course, they're also interested in the topics of how they can solve the fraud problems they have. I mean, fraud is a major problem. Unfortunately, it's already part of the culture that the industry is calling it friendly fraud, where you have consumers who are just trying to trick, just trying to cheat and not to pay. And they know they have to pay. They consumed the product, but they're just trying to get the money back. And this is a part of a very bad culture. Unfortunately, a lot coming out of America, and it's now spreading in the UK as well. So this is something that we, of course, can prevent, because if you're using digital currencies, there's no chargeback. Yeah, so if you send your Bitcoin to pay, you cannot just click a button and say, like, hey, I didn't receive the product, and you get your Bitcoin back. Most wallets don't provide that. Although what you can do, and this is a feature that we have in BlockPay, you can basically transfer the money back You can basically do a refund if you say, okay, the product was really, really bad. Then I have to go to the merchant. I have to tell them I have to bring back the product that I didn't like, and then they can do a refund also in digital currencies. This is a feature that we are working on. So that is just a couple of clicks, and the whole program transaction is going to be reversed. And I think one of the other big questions, of course, for many retailers is, now I got all this digital money, and okay, there's no volatility involved because you're going into the bit USD and the bit euro, so I don't have to worry about the volatility of Dash or Bitcoin and others. But how do you get out again? How do you cash out? And this is a big concern for a lot of retailers that at the end, they just want to have the money on the bank account. This is what they're familiar with. This is what they want. This is how they are going to pay their salaries, their employees, the bills that they have in their everyday life. And this is basically another step where we have to basically educate the retailers, educate our partners to say, yes, this is one way. You can basically cash out, but it's the worst. This is not the best solution to do. A way better solution would be to stay digital, keep your money in your account, and use it to basically pay out a bonus, use it to pay salaries, use it to hire people, use it for other service and products that you are buying internationally. Because if you look forward to, what is changing in the next couple of years is we're going to have a global workforce. Millennials, there are a lot of big studies coming up that by 2020, 2030, around 50% of the working workforce of the millennials are going to be freelancing. They're going to work only on bills. They're not going to be full-time employees anymore. So they're going to be working remotely from all around the world. And if you want to get good labor, if you want to get good people, they don't let you hire anymore. I have that problem right now. I want to hire people. I want to add them to the team. And they tell me, no, I don't want to be hired full-time. I just want to be a freelancer. So how do you get those people? It's a little bit tricky, but it's going to be more and more. And what that means is if you have a lot of people, a lot of employees who are freelancing and they're sitting somewhere in the world, of course you have better prices. You can see that already in the new digital nomad enclaves in Thailand. If you go to the north of Bangkok, you have a lot of people sitting there. The big question is, of course, how do you pay them? How do you send money to those people who are sitting in Chiang Mai and Bangkok and they're doing your social media and they are doing your SEO? They're doing your content creation, they are doing your customer support, and so on. So if you look into the future, we're going to have a huge amount of people who are going to work remotely, and you need to have an ecosystem. You need to have a system where you can pay them easily, and they want to get that money out again. So I think here, that is the trigger. That is really the element for digital currencies in the future, to say like, oh, I get all these digital currencies as a business. So how do I do that now? Well, I maybe want to buy a CEO from Thailand or from Latin America because the people are very good there. The prices are good, service is good. And to pay them, it's just a couple of clicks. It's in seconds. I send the money to them. They're happy because they can spend it locally on the BlockPay ecosystems. There's an infrastructure in place where they can spend their digital currencies for their everyday needs, for food, for their rent, and so on. And I think in this way, the digital currency ecosystem and sphere going to be a very, very vibrant system in the next couple of years, and I think it's gonna scale to a huge market that we cannot even imagine today if we have the right infrastructure and if we have the right applications. And this is why I'm so excited to be in this space, because we have now the opportunity to build these ecosystems. We have the opportunity to build tools, and we have the opportunity to get the people on board and show them basically a brighter future where they can use these tools. Because it's not only about food, it's not only about your house. Go the next mile, go the next step. Think about families who are in the developing countries and they want to buy better education. Think about those people who want to send their kids to the best schools possible, and they want to use online courses. They want to get online universities, and they have to pay for that. Today it's a mess, but if they earn digital money and they can buy education for the kids in digital money, we're going to be on a whole new level that we cannot even imagine today. And that's going to be very, very interesting. And I'm looking forward to build this future with everybody, with you guys, to invite you all to be part of that movement, part of that vision. And that is what we are doing here at BlockPay to set the foundation for a digital currency future, a whole ecosystem and economy on the blockchain. And I'm very excited to get that started, get as many people on board as possible, and to have a better future. That's what we do at BlockPay. Just a short summary. So it's one of the different products that we are building. All right, let's move on to the next topic. My 20 minutes are up. Next in the line is Furion. You are next. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself and your project.
Hello. I would like to talk about SteemData, which the idea of is very simple. Basically, what I did is I created a system that parses Steem blockchain and puts it into a database, and then that database becomes available to everyone. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because it is really, really hard to parse the blockchain yourself and get all the data in a timely manner. It takes a lot of time to scan all the blocks to answer certain kinds of questions. And I realized that probably a lot of developers out there would have the same problem and would try to solve it and re-implement it over and over again. So I just decided to start this open source project. And the type of things that I use it for is to ask certain questions. For example, you can run queries like, give me the list of payments I made last year in August, or see how much Steem gets transferred to exchanges every day. For example, if you're interested why the price of Steem keeps dropping. And you can see a couple of examples of these types of queries visualized with charts. If you visit steemdata.com and click on charts, there's a pretty nice page with a lot of pretty charts. So
I got a question about that. How do you export the data? Is it a JSON file or is it an Excel file? How do you use this?
Right, so all of the data is in a database, and the database is called MongoDB. So what I do is I just query the database with what I'm essentially interested in. For example, if it's daily transfers to foreign exchanges, I just write a query that says, give me all the operations that are of the type of transfer to the accounts in the list Poloniex, Bittrex, and BlockTrades. And then MongoDB spits me back all of the results, and I essentially import that into a pandas data frame. And there is a library for Python which lets you create a chart right out of the data frame. And a data frame is sort of like an Excel spreadsheet. And there's a service called Plotly, which will render charts on your website. It provides the JavaScript front end to the data, and that's how the charts are created. It's actually all open source and on GitHub, so you can look into it.
Actually, I'm looking into the website right now. So it's steemdata.com/tickers. That's where I am right now. And looking at the chart, you have this really popular charting tool. It's by TradingView, right? So you have the free version of that?
Yeah, the tickers, that's actually one of my addictions. Because if you kind of want to know what the Steem price is, and if you're on mobile, let's say on iPhone or iPad, you just want something quick and have a mobile view, and that's what I use tickers for. But you probably want to go one item more in the menu to charts, because that's what we were talking about.
Okay, so I'm just loading that. It's a nice micro animation here. Okay, so what do we learn here basically? That the daily post count is increasing, so we see more and more posts coming, but the price is dropping. Do you have a couple of ideas why that is?
Yes, right now I think it's just a trend and it's really strong, and there's a lot of human psychology involved. If everybody else around you is selling, then you should be selling as well. And it pays to sell because you can buy back next week for cheaper. So there's just a lot of momentum in the selling pressure. And until this trend reverses, it's just self-perpetuating.
So basically, everybody's just going out right now because everybody's selling, but there's soon going to be a backward movement.
Well, that's my hypothesis. At
For
least,
sure.
I mean, the economics right now don't really support price growth, since a new currency is being created every month to pay for witnesses and for content, and you would essentially need growth of the platform to offset for that, because then the speculators would come back in and fund these expenses. But right now, nobody's funding them, so there's actually an outflow of cash.
Mm-hmm. And what is your experience? Is it easy to get the data from the blockchain?
In the beginning, it was a bit tricky. I started doing this stuff last summer, but then we've built a couple of Python libraries to make our life easier. I've been contributing to Piston, and yeah, right now these days it's pretty easy. There are tools out there that just do everything for you.
Okay. So basically, with the Piston platform, you can easily get the data and you can aggregate it, and then you have to save it.
Correct. So there's Piston, there's SteemData, SteemData library, and also what's upcoming is SBDS, which is going to be official Steam. It's MySQL based service. So it's like SteemData but MySQL based.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. So what is the plan? How do you want to move forward? What do we can expect the next couple of weeks coming up with SteemData?
One of the things that I'm working on is an API overlay, and that is, so the current version of SteemData is really good for researchers and also for app developers who use MongoDB. But if you don't use MongoDB, if you just want to plug in some endpoints into your app, then you probably want an API. So what I'm working on is a web API, just a standard RESTful JSON thing, so that app developers can plug it into their apps. And if anybody's listening and is building a Steam-based app, if you have a request for a custom query, I'm also working on a custom API for specific applications, and I can basically solve the problem for you and just give you a ready-to-use endpoint.
I'm always fascinated about Steam because it's like a public blockchain. You have all this information, you have all these users and the user behaviors, and you basically can mine this data, user behavior data. And if you are like a student and you're like in data science and stuff, it would be the best testing ground for your master thesis to go there. How easy is that to get that data? Because I think like from Facebook you cannot really access it, right? So if you want to say like, hey, I want to analyze my friend's stream or my Facebook stream, that's almost impossible. But with Steam, everything is there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the problem is like if you're trying to get the data from the blockchain, it takes a lot of time because you have to go block by block. And if you just write a naive blockchain scraper, then you could essentially be running a script for 2 weeks. But you can shorthand that whole process and just run a query from SteemData and get the result back in 100 milliseconds or less.
Because you already have the database, so you recorded everything.
Correct, and it's also optimized for performance with structure and indexes and everything.
Okay, we have one question here in the chat room. Takeonator, I probably always misspell your name. I'm sorry for that. But he was interested. What do you see the benefits between MySQL and MongoDB? Why did you choose MongoDB?
I think it just boils down to personal preferences. MySQL is, and particularly the SQL query language, a lot of developers are familiar with that. It's very, very popular. But MongoDB has become really popular lately. It's a different paradigm. Instead of dealing with tables, you have documents, and that gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of schema. So in my opinion, for this kind of task, for the blockchain, it's actually simpler and easier to use a document-based storage, but both are perfectly fine, and you can really go with either.
Okay, good. We have another question, maybe a little bit more off topic. Are you aware that Bytemaster, so Daniel Reimer, did he announce any new projects or any new features regarding Steam?
I wouldn't know.
All right. So do we have a couple of more questions? We have 10 more minutes.
Just want to say great job, Furion. As always, you deliver quality products, and I'm using SteemData many times every day.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
What are you looking up, First Chicken?
Well, as every other geek in this, I'm interested in everything. Posts per day, we are above 2,000 posts per day now. I can see on my own curation, it's going great. The data that I'm interested in, of course, all the time is how much dollars is in the total reward pool.
Oh, that is probably the most important topic. So how much did I get from the cake today?
You want to know?
Yeah, of course. Because
today's total reward fund today is worth $5,602 on Poloniex and displayed as $6,324 internally. That's all there is to go around on the entire platform, as it has 62,617 Steam in that pool.
That's not really a lot. But it's a valuable insight to see, okay, this is how much can be distributed for the one day. And then I can see how popular my post was.
Well, it is a very low number, considering that there are 2,000 posts per day now, plus 2,000 plus posts per day. There is very few winners among those posts. So a long-term correction, I guess, is needed. It's still a pretty new platform, and as Furion said, there has been and is continued to be a large sell pressure. But at this level and with this volume, it looks like the market can sustain the price easier and easier.
Furion, I got a question here. Like, if I want to get my own chart built, what is the best way to do that? Can I send you like a message or something? How can people reach out and to get like a specific chart they're interested in?
If you would like me to make a specific chart, then you can just write me a message and give me your idea, and I'll put it on a to-do.
Are you like in Rocket Chat, or how can I reach you?
Sure, I'm there as well. Or just write a comment on my Steemit blog. But if you would like to make a chart yourself, then my suggestion is to just go on steemdata.com, and there is a GitHub link there. So you go on GitHub, and there's a repository called steemdata-charts. And in there's a IPython notebook that you can read, and it's really easy to understand what's going on. So you can just play around with that, and it should be pretty easy to figure out how to make your own chart if you're interested.
Well, I would be probably very interested in the areas of how many users are there. I mean, like, it's a cool chart to see how many posts are being made. But if I look here, for example, daily account creation, this is right now in a negative trend. But for certain kind of things, it would be quite interesting to see activities. What is the best time to post? What are the days with the most or highest payouts, and so on. I think there's a lot of valuable insight here, thinking about a community and trying to get your own post in the best time.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also very curious to see some data scientists jump onto the data, because there are a lot of opportunities and ways to improve things. For example, we could build a recommendation engine to compete with human-based curation. We could also use a better search engine to find things. So yeah, you could just use SteemData to get your data set and play with some machine learning models and see what you can get.
If somebody builds a decent search engine on top of your SteemData, I will love you forever, because we definitely need one.
Well, actually, it's one of my things on a to-do list, but my to-do list is very long, so I'm not sure I will tackle it. But I have been thinking about this problem. I have a couple of ideas on how to solve it. But the gist of it is that search has to be personalized, because even if you have the best text-based search and keyword search and key phrase search, it doesn't help you because you could search for, say, something from the election, Trump versus Hillary, right? But there are probably like 10,000 or 100,000 articles on that. So how do you know which one do you actually want? And the insight comes from personalization based on what have you seen before, what have you commented on, voted, etc., etc.
Yeah, that stuff would be pretty cool too. But I mean, just being able to search, by username and then keyword, just by username. You could try to do that with the Google search, but your mileage may vary. But just having even kind of more basic features that go beyond just searching a single keyword, I think would be hugely valuable.
And if you just want to search for posts from a single user using keywords, you can actually do that already with SteemData. The posts support full text search. So you could just have two conditions. One is the username and the other one is the text query. And you should be able to get posts that have those keywords inside.
Would it be actually possible to have like a CSF data dump?
That would be a huge file. Right now, the database is 18 gigabytes in size.
Maybe just for a specific area?
Sure, but I'm not sure. Like, yeah, maybe for things like transactions that could perhaps make sense.
Like I always like to get a data dump and build a model in Excel and or maybe in Google Charts and just build your own graphics for presentation and so on. So that would be nice to have some way to do that.
Actually, this would really only take a couple of lines of Python to query SteemData and then export it to CSV. So you could just have the script and run it locally whenever you need fresh data.
Yeah, that would be the case if you know how to do it. But for me, it would be just like, when I want to, for example, there's a very good site I found a while ago. If you want to get the best Bitcoin data and price data over all currencies, all exchanges, it's an amazing platform, and you can just, get a data dump, build your own charts, and to use that site for many, many years already to build calculations on Bitcoin arbitrages and so on. So if you have something similar for Steem, that's going to be amazing.
Is that site coinmarketcap.nordpole.ro? Perhaps?
No, CoinMarketCap. No.
I would be interesting to know. So if you can send me a link in a chat.
Well, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I just have to get the link, the bookmark.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Meanwhile, do we have more questions?
Well, I have one about the auto reward graph. I love that graph, but I was wondering if you could add a text dump of that one.
Yes, I think another thing that I could perhaps do is add links to the graphs on Plotly, because what Plotly does, it allows you to download the data from the chart as well.
That would be very helpful for analytical purposes.
So I just posted the link here. We're also going to put it on the podcast for everybody. So if you go to https://data.bitcoinity.org, you will have a very nice tool to basically see volumes, ranks, prices, market caps. You can go down to 10 minutes, up to 5 years, and all time. You can even go down to the hour in the chart itself. And the cool thing that I really personally like is you can filter to all different kinds of currencies. And this is, I think, the biggest overview about Bitcoin trading data. You have also most of the Bitcoin exchanges in here. And you can save the chart as a picture, but also as a CSV or as a XLSX. So you can easily do that. And what I really like at this site is that you can even get really exotic currencies, like Turkish real. Yeah? You can get that in this chart, and you can see what's actually happening in the Turkish market and in other smaller markets. So it's an awesome tool to analyze what is actually happening with Bitcoin. Okay, do we have one more question for Furion? Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next one, and the time is up for that. Or everybody's busy with the charting tool for Bitcoin. Just found here something where you can see all the block versions that are currently mined Oh man, this tool is awesome. All right, I think VirtualGrowth, are you here? Are you ready now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your project. What is happening right now?
Okay, first I'm going to start with SteamPrentice. SteamPrentice, we just went to Discord, and there will be a dividend paid to members, and the value is increased by 1%. You can read that post for more information. I'll read the basic information. So SteamPrentice right now, you can join for 11.944 Steam or more. We'll get one share for every 11.944 Steam, and for each Steam share that you earn and own in SteamPrentice, you will get a share of the curation awards that are earned by the SteamPrentice Crowdwhale account. That was started based with the other ideas. There was some other ones out there. We also have chats on steemit.chat and on Discord, which now we have 13 members. Steemit.chat is 300 members. If anyone needs to ask questions about Steam, as far as posts or anything else, feel free to ask. And for stickers here, it also mentions TeamSpeak, another great channel on Discord. There's many users there who are here as well. Thank you for joining us on Beyond Bitcoin too. Steam power total in SteamPrentice last month was 5,579. This month is 5,661 with an increase of 82, which is almost 1.5%. 50% of that is reinvested into Steam power, and the other 50% is shared in the dividend, which is given out at 0.086 per share, which is 0.72% to each member. We have almost 100 members with almost 500 shares that distribute rewards from the curation awards owned by SteamPrentice, which votes on a mixture of top authors, the members, and follows a few of the top curators on StreamYard as a mixed way to share rewards and support other users. And StreamYard can also be followed. SteamPrentice can be followed on StreamYard as well if people are interested. Also created a STEEMP, S-T-E-M-P, as a BitShare user asset, which will reflect the value of the Steam power in the SteamPrentice account as well if people are interested. Some people seem to be interested. And the other idea is to possibly use that as a reward that people could trade, and then it would actually be invested in Steam power and still be exchangeable. So if somebody wanted to get value for it, they could exchange it on the BitShares network for Steam, and then that Steam power could stay vested in the SteamPrentice account. I'll pause if anybody has any questions about that. I see Red and Teleguy, but I don't hear you.
I think we still cannot hear him.
I can't, if anybody else can, otherwise I'll move on to something else.
No, I think we cannot hear him. Maybe you can write and Teddy? No, your microphone is broken. It's flashing red, but we cannot hear you. Okay, let's move on to the next.
Otherwise, I did Steam bets before, and I was thinking of starting that up again. One people's concern is the high rake because of Steam power not being paid out. I was thinking of doing that again. People pick a currency which they think will go up or down in the next day, and then awarding people who make the best choices overall with a BitShares token, or they could accept Steam, but that would have to be paid out when a Steam powering down happens, and if we offer the token, then the Steam power could happen periodically, and that Steam can be moved to the BitShares network to purchase those tokens, which would be kind of a contest ongoing as a way to incorporate Steemit users and BitShare users. I did that before with some interest and success. A lot of people are interested, and just it also gives a way people to follow the currencies and see what will go up and down without risking their own money and then getting rewarded for it. And with a BitShares token, I could give away more of the rewards and then just use the Steam power to Steam down. Then some people would be happy about that because people are concerned about the higher rate. Or just do it as far as people pay to do it instead, if that's a better avenue. I'll be open to both when I relaunch that in the next month or so, or a week.
When are you gonna open an options market?
I can actually do that anytime for Stickin'. If you want to throw some ideas at me right now, I could do that on BitShares or with Steam. I could have a script to payouts. What is your thoughts?
My thoughts is that if you can copy the elements from the legacy markets and create option contracts and volatility contracts and those things for different currencies, then that'd be certainly something very interesting that we haven't had in crypto before.
Oh, we can definitely do that. I'll just have to think of the numbers through and stuff, and we could actually make an interface to have our own little market. I don't know, did Inertia do that? Or I forget who. Somebody talked about a way to make your own market. I'll have to look up who again.
I don't know, but it sure would be interesting to have a different market than just this old-fashioned buy and sell token markets.
I agree for sticking, and you're definitely a great person to further discuss that idea with. Also, with some people interested in what markets they're interested in, I was thinking of doing a post with all different markets, and people can vote on them. I have a script that can post comments, so I can write a whole bunch of them, and then people can vote for their favorites to get feedback on what pairs people would be interested in. Maybe I could do that with legacy market options as well.
Legacy market options already exist for Bitcoin users. One broker will add more cryptocurrencies about midway this year, so around summertime. I already asked them to add Steam-backed dollars to the exchange and see what happens with that one.
I recall you mentioning that before. And which currencies would you like to see traded against and like the BitShares? Because we could actually create any markets there.
Well, I mean, if you can create any markets, start with something easy that people understand, like the S&P 500 index. If you can create a contract that has liquidity on the BitShares market, that could be interesting. A token that is pegged to the S&P 500.
Yeah, you could definitely explore that idea and then trade it against BitUSD or other crypto over time. It's a matter of figure out which ones people are most interested in, and people will definitely be interested in more liquidity and another liquidity market as well on the BitShares, which people are definitely looking to solutions to bring more people and create more depth in the order books. And there's also talk about trading bots and such, and the website we mentioned in the BitShares talk earlier, btsbots.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to see what you can troll up.
Yeah, I'll make a post on Steemit and get some feedback, and we'll start some trading pairs soon. And start with something simple, have some fun, and see what people are interested in. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's important to have fun, and I don't know any site that can trade legacy markets with anything but Bitcoin still. So to have a legacy market trading place for 10 different cryptocurrency would definitely be interesting. I think a lot of people would use their Steam dollars to be trading in the legacy market or any other pegged whatever.
And that will be good in BitShares because of the bit assets with the BitUSD, Bit Chinese Yuan, and Bit Euro, which are backed by BitShares and pegged to those currencies. So we can incorporate those as well.
Well, sure. Whatever people have. I mean, it will become side betting, so it's not real trading. But I mean, people are on BitMax, spending money on BitMax with these 100x super high leverage contracts. So yeah, starting to experiment with derivatives and leverage products in the BitShares environment, and also facilitate for people that are bag holding a lot of shitcoins, so that they can lend it out easily to people that want to trade with them leveraged.
So one question I'm going to ask is, what leverage do you want to start with? Because the asset will actually be set at a leverage. Should we start with like 5x, 10x, for example?
Well, I like to have the option of trading between 1x, unleveraged, up to as many x as possible. But of course, people will be losing more money if they go higher up on the, so 100x, 200x leverage with the margin call functionalities will definitely be more profitable than a 5x margin market.
Yeah, and then assets are they can be backed by bit shares, or we can do them as a user issue asset, so they're just traded between people and then just fluctuate the price at the accelerated leverage rate somehow, potentially. I'll have to think this all through.
Oh yeah, you have to absolutely think it twice. True.
It's not exactly a margin platform, but there is margin in the backed assets that are market pegged assets, and that function is partially built into the BitShares platform. So I'll explore that and release something soon and write some posts to get some feedback, and maybe we can stop some markets and trading that way to provide liquidity to the bit assets is another idea for the community.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the largest community you have at disposal are SBD holders. Everybody's got some SBD.
Yeah, creating a market for Steam-backed dollars would be fairly interesting. Another thing I want to do is more of e-commerce stuff, but it seems much easier to do with Bitcoin right now. And one thing I noticed, I looked at coinpayments.net, and BitShares and BitUSD don't actually have any votes. And I was wondering if BitShares community would like to do something about that. And probably mention that next time on the BitShares talk. I forgot about it this morning.
Where is the BitShares community?
They're around.
Of course they're around, but they don't have an open Discord channel like the Steam community has.
That is correct.
I mean, this really drives Steam, I think, a lot to have a chat room where you can talk about Steam all day and brainstorm about cool things. That's why we actually have the Steam the BitShares Hangout every Friday, where we come together at least for 1 hour and talk about the latest stuff about BitShares.
Yeah, no, I was just making a comment. I've seen the price drop, and I've been with you guys now for must be 7 or 8 months since I joined this.
And I'm about done. If anybody has any questions or anything, and then we can just start the after party.
Do we have more questions for VirtualGrowth and Steam Prentice? All right, good. Thank you, everybody, for joining this week. This was another exciting episode of the Beyond Bitcoin radio show. I'm looking forward to have Fuzzy back next time. He's going to tell us, as again, a lot of crazy stories. And I think he's very, very hungry to learn about the latest updates and what is happening in the BitShares and in the Steam community. And I'm very excited to talk to all of you the next time. Thank you very much for joining this week, and I'm looking forward to talk to you. If you have more questions, and if you have your own project, and if you want to present it here on the podcast, on the Beyond Bitcoin radio show, the best way how to get started is you look out for at steemit.com, and you look out for the next post to sign up. You just write your name, you write your topics, and you motivate people to post for your appearance. And then basically the post with the most votes and with the most demand will be first, and then we just go down. And in this way, we have a good way. And if you have a new project, if you want to promote a project for Steam or for BitShares or maybe for a different chain, this is the best way to be part of here, to present it, to have an audience, to talk about it, and also to maybe bounce back and forward a couple of ideas. If you have a new idea, a new project, and you just want to figure out if that is really valid or not, the Beyond Bitcoin radio show is the best place to bounce your ideas, to get feedback. And we have a very open community here, so I'm looking forward to new proposals, new ideas. Also, if you're a witness and you want to get voted in, this is a perfect place to promote and to get started. Beside that, I would say let's start the after party. Let's get ready. Maybe you're gonna get another coffee, another beer, depends where you are right now, and let's get cozy.
you.